Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's super exciting video. You'll have already seen by the title, but you've guessed it, I am pregnant. If you are new here, then welcome. My name is Nodreen K. I upload fashion, lifestyle and career related videos, so if any of that tickles your fancy, then you're going to want to subscribe for more of that type of content. But if you're a returning subscriber, then you'll probably be pretty interested in the rest of this video and probably the next few videos that I've got to share with you guys. So yeah, I'm pregnant. Let's get right into it. So first of all, I want to thank you all for bearing with me on the very sporadic upload schedule. Obviously now you'll know that the reason why things have been so few and far between as far as content on my channel is because of that. I think I said in my, was it 2023 goal setting video that one of my words for the year was family, and that was because I think in my mind the beginning of that year was where I was going to be really intentional about family, both existing family relationships and also about starting a new family. So for me that meant you know, a lot of lifestyle changes, as you can imagine, like health and fitness, working out more, eating better, taking certain supplements, trying to be a bit more active, and yeah, really just, you know, building those bonds with, you know, my existing family and you know, my partner's family. And so yeah, family was really the word of the year, and we, you know, we were blessed enough to be able to conceive at the end of last year. So yeah, just goes to show that I suppose when you set out on a journey and you're really intentional about what you want to achieve, that anything is possible. So yeah, thank you to you guys for sticking around despite the severe lack of videos. It was a combination of that and also starting a new job and, you know, just life just taking over. But yeah, towards the end of last year I definitely dropped off in terms of like my upload schedule, so that is why. But we're here to talk about all things pregnancy. I want to give you guys a bit of an insight into what I've got coming up, and also what I want to do is gather all your questions in the comments below, and I will answer those in a, probably not the next video, not the one after that, but the one after that. I'll do like a pregnancy Q&A. But just to kind of start you guys off a little bit, if you are new here, I am 35 years old. I'm currently 5 months pregnant. This is my first child, so I guess that would class me as a first-time mum. Also, if you are watching right until the end, I'm going to do a gender reveal for you guys, so you'll get to see what the gender of my baby is as well. So I thought I'd mention that. But yeah, where did it all start? How did we get here? So set the goal last year, and also I just want to caveat, if you hear me breathing really heavily, it's because, well, it's because I'm pregnant. The heavy breathing has been a very constant thing since probably about, I want to say about 6 to 7 weeks in. I'm just out of breath for doing nothing. But anyway, we'd always thought that we would have a family. I think while we didn't know what numbers we were looking at, because we knew we were starting a bit later in our lives, that would probably be a smaller family. So like 1 or 2 kids has always been in our minds. And I think once I hit my early 30s, I think I started to think about it a lot more. And I would say probably when I turned 33, I had like a real switch where I had like this real urge to become a mum. And I do hear about that happening a lot. I do hear about women who, and I was one of those women who typically, I wasn't necessarily, you know, being completely candid, like having kids was not like something that I had on my like must do this in life list. I was always very much like, you know, if it's the right person, if it's the right relationship, maybe. But because I have younger siblings, and I've done a lot of babysitting in my time, and I know the work and the effort and the energy that goes into raising kids in the right way, I just felt like it's a lot to take on. And I think maybe when I was earlier on in my career, or, you know, wanting to travel and do other things that, you know, like put myself as a priority, I suppose, I didn't see where kids would fit into that. But yeah, like I say, when I turned like 33 around that age, I just had like a complete flip of a switch. It was gradual, don't get me wrong, because we had been talking about it and it was always something we were going to do. But I think at that point I reached my peak broodiness. Like everything baby related that I would see online, or like just out and about, like my friends having kids, like it would just make me so broody. And so I think it was around that time that we were like, okay, let's kind of start to, you know, intentionally trying to conceive. So I guess from then, so that probably would have been September 2022, you know, we kind of decided, all right, let's take away all of the things that, you know, would be stopping us from having kids, and let's just kind of, let's just kind of be a bit more carefree. So I wasn't actually on any contraception at the time, because I'd stopped. I had the implant, the one they put in your arm. I'd taken that out when I turned 30. So I'd given myself, my body as well, enough of a run time to kind of get all of that stuff out of my system. And yeah, and then I think as of September 2022, you know, we were kind of like, okay, let's just see what happens. Let's not like time it or actively try anything, and see what happens. And so then, you know, a few months passed. Yeah, I think around that time we went on holiday to Dubai. We went, you know, we had like loads of like things to do, like social stuff. So we weren't like so focused on it. But come beginning of 2023, I think I was like, okay, let's really get serious about this now. So we did everything, like, and I talk about this in videos that you'll see to come. So I've got like a first trimester vlog, a second trimester vlog, and probably will have like a third trimester vlog as well. But I talk about the things that we did, so everything from ovulation sticks to getting like lots of fertility tests done, so checking my AMH levels just to see like what my ovarian reserve is, like how many eggs I have, so making sure that my AMH levels were good, making sure that I had a pelvic ultrasound just to make sure that everything within my uterus was all functioning fine. I had my fallopian tubes flushed just to get rid of any blockages that might have been in there. You know, we did everything from semen analysis to all of it, all the tests that you can imagine we had run, we did those. And we were fortunate enough to be able to do that testing as privately, because my other half, he has private healthcare with his work, so we got to book that in a lot quicker than we probably would have if we were on an NHS waiting list. So yeah, so we got all that testing done. That was kind of like, took us to like the midway point of 2020. Well, midway, I say, up until about April, the last test was done, and then we went away for my birthday, and then we went away again in July, and that's when we got engaged. And I thought that was just like a holiday, but you know, ended up getting engaged. And then we went to Paris. I think Paris was like September time. So we planned a lot of trips, because they do say that if you are relaxed and you're focused, you're in kind of like a, you know, a very, you know, not a very relaxed mindset, things can happen. So we gave ourselves all of that. And I don't think that, I think that while we enjoyed those holidays, I know myself mentally, I was still very tuned into the fact that there's a window, and we have to, you know, there's a certain window of time in which you can conceive, and obviously sex has to happen in that window. And so I was still very conscious about that. But after we came back from Paris, I was like, you know what, we're engaged. Let's plan our wedding. Let's focus on that for now, and shift our focus away from, you know, baby making, if you will. And yeah, like let's just let that be what we do, because we can control that. So I think it was the month of October, we were like, okay, from here on out we are just focusing on wedding planning. So we lined up like loads of viewings and everything, and you'll hear me talk about this again in the first trimester vlog, I think. Yeah, we lined up loads of viewings, and then the morning of those viewings, it was like a Saturday morning, it was the 11th of November, so it was 11/11. My period hadn't come yet, and of course we found out right before we went to go and do the viewings that we were pregnant. So I was like, typical. The one time you take your mind off things and you're like, you truly give your focus to something else, is when it happened for us. So I don't know if that is necessarily everybody's testimony or everybody's story. Well, obviously it's not everybody's story, but that was my story. I just needed to get out of my head. I needed to focus on something else, and lo and behold. So that was in November. I am filming this video at 21 weeks. And I wanted to release it on a Sunday as always, but I thought that a Mother's Day Sunday would be a really nice way to, well, share this news with you guys, but also a really nice way for me to celebrate my first Mother's Day. I don't know if you could typically class it as I'm celebrating Mother's Day because my baby is not earthside, but it's also my 10th year of being on YouTube, and so I was like, this is just, it's also serendipitous, like the timing of it is just incredible. Like 5 months was around the time I wanted to start, like, you know, getting the news out there on my socials. So all of my friends and family know, everybody has been, yeah, that's the other thing, like everyone who we told initially, like their reactions, I will honestly remember those for the rest of my life. Like, I knew that people were excited for us to have a baby, but I couldn't have anticipated the level of excitement that I got. I knew my parents were like gagging for me to like kick things off because I'm the first, so they were like, if the chances are it has to be me first. So there was that, and then yeah, but my siblings, like, I mean, they're just over the moon, and I love it, and I love that for us. Like, I love that I'm going to be able to make them uncles and aunties for the first time, and like they're so excited about everything. Like, even like throughout the weeks as they've progressed, I've been sharing like the little pregnancy updates that you get in the Baby Center app and the Pregnancy Plus app. So like, they love seeing like what you know, what organs the baby's growing this week, or what the developmental stage the baby is at. So they've been so excited. My partner's family has been equally excited. Like, everyone has just been showering us with love and with like prayers, and yeah, I mean, this is probably, of my 10 years on YouTube, in my personal life, I would say that this is the most special time that I have experienced. I feel so grateful to be able to, for my body to be able to do this, and I also just feel like everything in my life is coming together. It's really weird. It's like, you just feel a sense of, I have this looming sense of everything is about to change, because everything really is about to change. My life up until this point has been very much focused on me, prioritizing me, keeping me alive, and then obviously all of the relationships that I have come along, and that has been, you know, about balancing my life and with somebody else's, but this is probably like, I don't want to say the calm before the storm, but but this is like the last season of it just being me, the last season of me as a woman, being very much focused on my well-being, prioritizing what I want out of the future. And I know that there's going to be a huge shift to prioritizing my child and their well-being and everything that I want for, or that we want for their future. So yeah, it's a really special time because I'm really trying to take in everything that I know to be, you know, the norm right now, and say goodbye almost to a version of me that I will miss, and I'm so glad that I have my channel and I've got all these videos on here to kind of remind me of who I used to be. But I know for a fact that motherhood, which is crazy to say, is going to change me, but for the better. So it has been, yeah, it has been, the 5 months has flown by, that's what I will say. I haven't had it too bad as far as like symptoms and like my general experience. It's just all the usual stuff, nausea included. I always like to shout out the nausea because my gosh, but that went away after the first 3 months. So yeah, it's actually been relatively pleasant, especially now that I have a bit of a bump and I'm now starting to feel little tiny kicks, which is, it's honestly, it's weirded, it's not weirded me out as much as I thought it would, but it's just, it's like there's a little alien inside me kicking around. But yeah, what I wanted to do first of all before I do the gender reveal for you guys is show you some pics of the last scan. So this is the 20-week scan that we did at the hospital. So I've got a 3D picture on here, but you won't be able to see that really well. So we've got this picture, and that is just like a side profile of baby in the womb. And then we've got this one, which is a bit more of a close-up. So I think this is the baby's head, this is the baby's arm, and then that's the body. So getting big in there. And you'll see some of the earlier scan pics in the first trimester vlog. So basically I did a private 6-week scan and then another private one at 10 weeks because I was super anxious. Like the minute we found out, I was like, what is the earliest time I can get a scan? And I knew the NHS one wasn't coming until 12 weeks. So I wanted to make sure that 1, I am actually pregnant, hence the 6-week scan, and 2, that everything is still going well so that we're prepared for when we get to the 12-week scan, hence the 10-week scan. So you'll see those 2 scans in the first trimester vlog as well as the 12-week scan. I think I included that in there. Or maybe I included that in the second trimester vlog. I don't know, but you'll see those. The only other thing that I wanted to do is give you guys some bump shots so you guys can see how the bump is shaping along. I made sure to have a nice big lunch before I filmed this so you guys get the full scope of my belly. So here is what it's looking like at the moment. So I've got a decent sized bump here. This is my 5-month bump. You can kind of, so if I stand back, you can kind of see the outline. Probably even if I stand at the front, but like in white it's very hard to sort of see. But the minute I stand to the side, the game's been given away. The jig is up. So yeah, we'll see what this looks like at 7 months, and I'll be sure to do bump updates in the vlogs as well. So yeah, that is the bump. And then